Hello, welcome to this quick video guide on how to use recipes as a marketing tool in the food industry. So my name is Andrew Olson. I've run a popular food blog called One Ingredient Chef for nearly 10 years, and I've seen firsthand how powerful recipe marketing can be for brands in the food industry. In fact, I recently saw a study by Morning Consult that found that over 2/3 of US adults used a recipe for cooking within the last week. That's something like 170 million individuals relying on recipes. A similar report found that 71% of consumers use digital recipes as inspiration. So being able to capitalize on all of this with recipe marketing, which is simply promoting your brand's products by creating and sharing recipes that incorporate these products, is an incredibly effective way to increase awareness, drive sales, and capture more market share. It works so well because you're presenting your product in a way that adds value to the consumer. When you share a recipe, it never seems like a marketing pitch. It just feels like you shared something useful. And as I'm sure you've seen, all of the biggest food brands are heavily relying on recipe marketing because it's so effective. But for many small to medium-sized companies, it had never really been cost-effective to pay a recipe developer like myself hundreds of dollars per recipe or enter into complex and expensive licensing agreements. And that's why I personally developed a new tool called DishGen. DishGen is an AI-powered recipe creation tool. It can generate a complete recipe in seconds from whatever prompt you have in mind. So as a business, you can enter your brand's products as part of the prompt. You might say something like, create a pasta recipe with my brand name of pasta sauce, and the AI will literally create a custom-tailored recipe that features your products in seconds. Something like this has really never existed before, and it kind of levels the playing field and allows any food producer or retailer to reach a much bigger audience through recipe marketing. So I wanted to take a few minutes here to share some strategies and ideas on how exactly to reach customers with recipes. Remember, there's something like 170 million Americans looking for recipe inspiration on a weekly basis. And if you're able to get your content in front of a tiny fraction of that audience, it can lead to tremendous growth. To start, just sharing recipes on social media is probably the single most effective way to build greater brand affinity with your customers. So they'll collect more and more recipes that call for your products, and you will remain top of mind for them. However, there's an even more powerful reason to share recipes on social media, which is that consumers are very quick to reshare or pin or retweet recipes that they like. So when I was a food blogger, when a recipe goes viral, it could reach tens or hundreds of thousands of new visitors with no additional effort or cost. And for a business, that makes recipe marketing one of the most powerful ways to exponentially grow your reach. In addition, if your brand is already running ads, featuring recipes in those ads makes them that much more effective and efficient. So this can easily be done on all the major social platforms like Pinterest and Facebook, as well as display advertising on Google and other platforms. On my food blog where I run ads, most of the ads are for food products, and most of those food products feature a recipe. The biggest brands run recipe ads because they know that they are highly effective. Packaging is another great outlet for recipes. If you include a recipe directly on the product packaging, it's a great way to add perceived value to that product. When a consumer sees a new recipe, they begin to think that the hummus isn't just a dip, but it can also be used as a base for a sauce for an easy weeknight dinner, and they're more likely to purchase and repurchase your product. And I'm sure you can think of many more ways that your business could use recipes as a tool for growth. You could start a blog and put the recipes on your blog and start to rank in the search engines and passively bring in more and more awareness. Or you could produce an ebook and give that away to capture email addresses of your most loyal customers. The opportunities go on and on. So let me illustrate how these large food companies are using recipe marketing with a real-time example. So if we go to Pinterest and we look for dessert recipes, for example, what we'll notice is that most of these are just like organic results, but some of them are sponsored. So let's focus on the ones that are, say, promoted by, that are essentially advertisements. And what we'll notice is that virtually all of them include a recipe. They aren't saying, go buy sumo citrus because they're great. They're saying, look, you can make vegan sumo citrus muffins with sumo citrus. And they're adding value to their product by including recipes. And basically, I would bet that almost all of the sponsored posts will include a recipe. Like these Magnum ice cream bars have a recipe for, molten chocolate lava cakes. Even Ralph's, the grocery store, has peanut ice cream desserts, and you can click the link to get the recipe. Even Fruity Pebbles, which seems like something that would be harder to make a recipe with, they're including cereal ice cream blocks as a recipe as part of their advertisement. So the list goes on, and what you'll see is that the biggest and most powerful food brands are relying primarily on recipes in their marketing to build awareness and drive sales. So clearly recipes are powerful, but the problem is, until now, you would have to hire a recipe developer, and maybe your business has done that in the past, but this can be prohibitively expensive for most food companies. In fact, I was just doing some research on pricing, and I came across one recipe developer's price list. So we can see that, okay, they charge $35 for a base recipe, but that's definitely not the whole story. If you want any kind of an introduction that explains what the recipe's about, that's going to be somewhere between $15 to $50 for more complex recipes. If the recipe itself is more complex, it's going to be an extra $20 to $50. And that's all without photographs. If you want a photo, one photo is $50 and additional photos are $30. So it can quickly add up to several $100s. And this also only includes a 1-year license to use that recipe. It's just not cost effective for most small brands to spend thousands of dollars a month in order to have a steady stream of recipes. And that's why I think DishGen is an absolute game changer for small to medium-sized food brands. If you're not Hershey's, for example, and you don't have 10 full-time recipe developers in your state-of-the-art test kitchen pumping out content every day, well, this is an opportunity to actually level the playing field to some degree. And the best part is that with the power of technology and AI, we're actually able to offer an entire year of recipe creation with DishGen for less than the price of one of these custom licensed recipes. And with that, you have the ability to generate unlimited recipes with a very generous license to perpetually use whatever you create. So you can generate hundreds or thousands of recipes per year that feature your product. So let me show you how easy it is to actually generate recipes with DishGen. We'll take a hypothetical example and say we're working for Sandy, who runs a small Mediterranean food manufacturing company, and she wants to use DishGen to promote her hummus and olive oil and other Mediterranean products. So she creates a pro account, and we'll use DishGen to start coming up with ideas that feature her products. So let's say we want to create an Italian-inspired pasta dish featuring, let's say her brand is called Olia. We'll call it Olia hummus, okay? And in a few seconds, the AI will actually generate an all-new recipe to our specifications. So here it is. In about 5 seconds, we have a creamy hummus pesto pasta. Elevate your pasta game with this Italian-inspired dish featuring the rich flavors of Olia hummus and a homemade pesto sauce. Creamy, flavorful, and easy to make, this dish combines the best of Mediterranean and Italian cuisines, resulting in a satisfying and unique pasta experience perfect for busy weeknights or a special dinner with friends. Okay, the AI just generated that in seconds. And as you can see, there's linguine, basil, parmesan, pine nuts, garlic, olive oil, half a cup of Olia hummus, salt and pepper, fresh basil, and grated Parmesan cheese. And as a recipe developer looking this over, I can see that the AI generated something that is very detailed, accurate, and it should be a very high quality recipe. And it was smart enough to actually include this brand of hummus in a way that integrates it elegantly into the dish. Now, I also want to show you something absolutely incredible that we've been working on. As you'll see, it generated this recipe, and this is the public recipe page, but it just has kind of a placeholder image. Now, all of our pro accounts have the ability to generate images with AI. In just one click, it can parse the ingredients and the description to create a depiction of what that recipe might look like. So let's give that a shot. And look at that. In about 15 seconds, the AI generated this image, which is absolutely stunning. It's one of the best food photos I've seen in a while. The lighting is perfect. The texture and the detail of the pesto and the pasta are incredible. And this is something we're really excited about. It's a brand new feature because without images, it's very hard to share your recipes. And this gives you some incredible, stunning images that will perform very well in advertising, on social media, and beyond. Now again, these recipes can be used in a variety of ways to drive engagement and sales and to gain significant market share, because virtually none of the other brands in your space are aware of this tool yet. So if we were working for Sandy's company, we could copy this image and the contents of the recipe onto our blog, onto a Facebook post, run ads with it, put it into an ebook, and so much more. So that's DishGen and the power of recipe marketing. I hope you can see that this is a really powerful opportunity to take your business's marketing to another level. Our service has been around since last summer, and in that time our users have generated over 150,000 recipes to date. As I mentioned, our Pro accounts come with unlimited usage as well as a commercial license that allows you to distribute whatever you create in perpetuity. So there's no annual licensing agreements or anything like that. It also has that powerful new image generator tool and a few more business-focused features. You can learn more about the service at dishgen.com/pro, and we do offer a free trial if you'd like to try it out and see if it's right for your business. Otherwise, if you have any questions or would like to bounce around ideas on how DishGen could help your business, feel free to message me directly, Andrew@dishgen.com, and I can't wait to see the recipes you create.